Hi there and welcome to Juicy Celeb Talks. Jacqueline Laurita is once again making waves, stirring up conversations in the world of reality TV by speaking out against what she sees as a misplaced focus on Teresa Giudice. In a recent podcast appearance, Jacqueline criticized Rachel Fuda for centering much of the season's drama around Teresa rather than sharing her own story. Laurita found the current season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, to be dark and toxic, suggesting that Rachel's strategy of picking on Teresa was bound to backfire. Jacqueline expressed concern about the future of the show without Teresa, stating that Real Housewives of New Jersey simply wouldn't survive if Giudice were ever cut from the cast. She believes that no one deserves the title of the longest-standing housewife more than Teresa and argues that her presence is vital to the franchise's success. Laurita fears that if Teresa is removed, the show would require a complete overhaul, drastically changing its dynamic and potentially losing its core audience. The ongoing feud between Rachel, her husband John Fuda, and Teresa's husband, Luis Ruelas, has been a significant point of tension this season. However, Jacqueline thinks the show's direction has been misguided, expressing disappointment with the network's decisions. She finds it unfair that Melissa Gorga might take Teresa's spot as the longest-running cast member. In Laurita's view, the show has always revolved around Teresa, and removing her would fundamentally alter its essence. Jacqueline's remarks highlight her strong loyalty to Teresa and her dissatisfaction with the current state of Real Housewives of New Jersey. She feels that without Teresa, the show could lose its heart and longevity, which would be difficult to recover from. Frank Catania's wedding plans with Britney Micich. Meanwhile, Frank Catania is teasing fans with hints about his upcoming wedding to fiancée Britney Micich, and it seems like the big day is approaching faster than anyone anticipated. In a heartfelt Instagram post celebrating Britney's birthday, Frank referred to her as his everything and hinted that their wedding date could be just weeks or months away. Frank and Britney got engaged in October 2023 during a romantic proposal in front of a backdrop of red roses. Since then, Britney has been ticking off key wedding milestones, including her bridal shower and bachelorette party, which featured fun pink themes and life-sized cutouts of Frank. Dolores Catania, Frank's ex-wife, has remained supportive throughout the process, even leaving warm comments on Britney's birthday post. During season 14 of Real Housewives of New Jersey, Dolores gave Frank her blessing to marry Britney, noting that he's more ready for commitment now than he was in the past. The positive co-parenting dynamic between Frank, Dolores, and their children suggests that the wedding will be a joyous occasion for everyone involved. Fans of the show are eagerly awaiting the big day as Frank and Britney's wedding date draws nearer. In another corner of the Real Housewives of New Jersey world, Jacqueline Laurita is weighing in on the strained relationship between Joe Gorga and his sister, Teresa Giudice. During a recent interview, Jacqueline reflected on how Joe has mishandled their sibling dynamic, often escalating tensions rather than resolving them. Jacqueline believes that Joe's tendency to air grievances publicly instead of addressing them privately has only fueled the family drama. She pointed out that Joe should have discussed issues with his wife, Melissa Gorga, behind the scenes rather than criticizing Teresa on camera. This public airing of dirty laundry, Jacqueline says, has deepened the rift between the siblings, making it harder to mend their relationship. One pivotal moment that Jacqueline referenced was the first day of filming for Real Housewives of New Jersey. Despite being upset that Joe and Melissa joined the show behind her back, Teresa tried to make peace. However, Joe publicly rejected her efforts, accusing her of ignoring them, which drove an even bigger wedge between the siblings. Jacqueline also hinted at some underlying jealousy from Melissa toward Teresa's fame. She suggested that Melissa and Joe joined the show with the intent of exposing family tensions, which only worsened the animosity between them. According to Jacqueline, these actions showed a lack of respect for the family bond and have contributed to the ongoing strain in their relationship. Luis Ruelas, Teresa Giudice's husband, is no stranger to controversy, and his recent actions have stirred up even more drama. After making harsh comments about Margaret Joseph's son during the season 14 finale, Luis posted and then deleted a controversial meme featuring Heath Ledger's Joker with the caption, "May God have mercy on my enemies because I won't." Fans quickly condemned the post, with many labeling Luis as evil and calling for Teresa to be removed from the show. This incident comes after Luis had already apologized for wishing harm on Margaret's family during the season finale. He had expressed hope that Margaret's family would suffer in the same way he had, a remark that sparked widespread criticism. Luis later issued a public apology, explaining that his outburst was fueled by false accusations that he had contacted Margaret's son at work, a story he claims Margaret herself had spread. Despite his apology, the damage was done, and the subsequent posting of the Joker meme only fueled further backlash. Fans have expressed concern over Luis's behavior, with some questioning why Bravo has not intervened. Many believe that this incident reflects a pattern of toxicity within the show, leading to calls for significant changes before season 15 begins. Margaret Josephs isn't holding back either. On a recent episode of the Taste of Taylor podcast, she unleashed a wave of criticism against Teresa and Luis. Margaret compared Luis to Teresa's ex-husband, Joe Giudice, despite not being on the show when Joe was still around. Margaret seems to believe that Luis is trying to play puppet master with Teresa, manipulating her to be loyal to him while cutting ties with others. As Teresa's social circle continues to shrink, Margaret accuses Luis of pulling the strings behind the scenes. Margaret also pointed out the stark contrast between Luis and Joe. While Joe made mistakes, he never spoke as poorly of others as Luis has. Margaret's comments suggest that she sees Luis as the true villain in the situation, and she's not afraid to call him out for it. Jacqueline Laurita's passionate defense of Teresa Giudice underscores how pivotal Teresa is to the fabric of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. For many fans, Teresa is the heart of the show, and her influence over the franchise has only grown stronger over the years. Her complex relationships with her fellow cast members, especially her family, including Joe and Melissa Gorga, are the central focus of much of the drama. Without her, many fans believe Real Housewives of New Jersey would lose the very essence of what has made it so compelling over the years. Jacqueline's criticism of Rachel Fuda's approach also points to a larger issue within the current season, the question of authenticity. Reality TV thrives on cast members who share their personal lives, conflicts, and triumphs openly. Jacqueline's accusation that Rachel has spent too much time targeting Teresa rather than sharing her own journey is a critique that speaks to the heart of what fans want: genuine storylines, not rehearsed drama. Viewers tune in to see real conflicts resolved, or left unresolved, between cast members, not orchestrated tension just for screen time. As for Frank Catania, his positive relationship with his ex-wife Dolores and his excitement about his future with Britney Micich have added a refreshing dynamic to the Real Housewives of New Jersey narrative. While much of the show revolves around heavy conflicts, Frank and Dolores have shown that it's possible to maintain a close, supportive relationship after divorce. Their co-parenting success, especially as Frank moves on to marry Britney, provides a contrast to the more contentious family dynamics playing out elsewhere in the cast. Fans have applauded Dolores for embracing Frank's new relationship, showing maturity and emotional growth that can sometimes be missing from the reality TV landscape. In contrast, Luis Ruelas' increasingly erratic behavior has left many viewers concerned about Teresa's future on the show. His confrontations with Margaret Josephs and his controversial social media posts have sparked widespread backlash, with fans calling for Bravo to take action. The franchise has weathered scandals before, but Luis' repeated outbursts and his polarizing influence on Teresa have created a sense of unease among the show's loyal viewers. Some fear that if Luis continues to be a central figure in Teresa's life, Real Housewives of New Jersey could take a darker, more toxic turn in future seasons. Margaret Joseph's ongoing feud with Teresa and her sharp criticisms of Luis also highlight a larger division within the cast. While some housewives, like Jacqueline, are staunchly loyal to Teresa, others, like Margaret, see Luis as a negative influence who is isolating Teresa from her old friends. Margaret's comparison of Luis to Joe Giudice, Teresa's ex-husband who had his own legal troubles, adds another layer to this tension. As Margaret continues to expose what she sees as Luis' manipulative behavior, it raises questions about whether Teresa's loyalty to her new husband could ultimately harm her relationships with her longtime friends and castmates.